I'm Peter Kapitein. In the first place, I'm a father. And I'm a husband. I work as a banker at the Central Bank of the Netherlands. And I initiated an organization which is now a patient advocacy organization. And we started as a fundraising event. And we biked on one day your beautiful mountain, Alpe d'Huez, 6 times. So we started in France, and we had to start in France because in the Netherlands we only have dikes and no mountains. But in France I learned that there is a difference between simple and easy. It's simple to bike Mount Alpe d'Huez on one day 6 times. You pick your bike, you ride uphill, you descend, and you do that 6 times. That's simple, but it's not easy. There is a difference between simple and easy, and I will show you how you do it. The key to success is always passion. Let me give another example next to health. In 1903, Orville and Wilbur Wright invented flying like a bird. That's what they wanted. They didn't invent a plane. Their competitors were inventing a plane. And that's why they lost from Wilbur and Orville Wright. Because it was all about passion. Now, I heard a lot of numbers this morning, numbers about patients getting diagnosed with cancer, patients dying, we need more money, we always need more money, but it's not about numbers. Well, actually, it's for me about one number, and that's 16. 16 is the age on which a beautiful young girl died at the 10th of August 2011. And she left her parents, and from that moment on, her mother was no mother any longer. She was an only child, like me. And 16 is my motivation in everything I do. And I want you to speed up, because patients can't wait. Like I said, I'm an only child too, and I was diagnosed with a lymphoma in 2005. I had chemos in 2005. The disease returned in 2006. I had another series of chemos. The disease returned in 2007. I had an immunotherapy. The disease returned in 2008. My motto is never ever quit. And I had 2 bone marrow transplantations. First with my own stem cells, and the second one was stem cells from someone else. And I looked for the guys, the man that discovered the bone marrow transplantation, and it happens to be a Dutchman. At least he made a wonderful contribution. And I learned from him what science can do, what making treatments are capable of. The reason now I'm presenting for you is because he, and of course hundreds, thousands of other scientists, clinicians, did a marvelous job. But they had one thing in mind. It's simply not fair to let a 16-year-old girl die. So why are we not doing it? The war on cancer was in the 70s, and the number of patients that are dying are growing. More people are diagnosed. What are the barriers that we should take? Politics. We talk about prevention. Prevention is all about politics. Why talk about the ingredients of cigarettes, and we have to forbid this and we have to forbid that? It's quite simple. If a product causes cancer, you simply forbid it to sell it to another one. I mean, you're not allowed to use asbest. You're not, and realize the most deadliest product is the cigarette and not the gun. So why don't we sell guns at the supermarket? Because it kills people. Data. We talked about data. Yes, data is very important, but data are prevented to share because of law and regulations. It's not true. You can share all the data you want, but you have to ask the patient. And if the patient gives their consent, informed consent, you can do anything with it. So why don't we do it? Because we are frightened. We don't want to share. We want to use it in our own institution, but we don't share it with other institutions. We cooperate. No, you don't. Yes, we do. Congresses like this, we come together and we share information. Yes, that's the end phase. But what happens if you share your ideas from the beginning? I have an idea, you have an idea. We both share our ideas. Then from the start of the research, we both have 2 ideas. That's speeding up. We have a publication culture. The most important authors are the first one and the last one. Yes, but we're depending on that for our income. The reward structures is related to the publication culture. But what is it about? Is it about the patient making better treatments based on good science? Or is it about your income? Do you want to make an airplane, or do you want to fly like a bird? Is it the 16-year-old girl you have in mind? Or just a beautiful house and a beautiful wife? I think the deepest cause is that in what I call the medical industrial complex, the patient is not involved. And I refer to it as the medical industrial complex, like the military industrial complex, where our armed forces, academic institutions, and industry. I don't know the data from France or other countries, but in the Netherlands, an investment of €1 in healthcare is a return on investment of 1.3 euros, which makes the system in itself corrupt. Because making more patients by selling them cigarettes, unhealthy food, alcohol, is making more money. And that system, the medical industrial complex, are we. That's what we built. But the good news is that what we have built can be changed also by us. By by taking patients and make them an equal decision partner at the discussion table. Not just like in the American Westerns in the 50s and 60s, if you needed an Indian, the director shouted, "Go get an Indian!" Not go get a patient. But bring her on the table, discuss with her what's needed to set up trials. That can't be done by patients. It can. The beautiful thing in the speech of President Hollande was that he called cancer a plague. Oh, Google on the internet and watch the documentary, How to Survive a Plague. It's about ACT UP, the patient advocacy organization in the 80s and 90s in the US that fought HIV and AIDS. That's how you do it. Patients were at the table at Merck developing, designing trials. Make better treatments with patients. Make them an equal partner in the medical industrial complex, because patients with one thing they want first. We don't want to be patients, we want to be the prevented patient, and if we are patients, we want as fast as possible out of the system with good treatments. So the thing I'm asking you is, like me, go to your own 16-year-old girl, or your 24-year-old friend, or your mother, your sister, whoever is dear for you, and ask yourself the question every evening when you go to bed, and look in the mirror before you go to sleep. Did I do everything to prevent my 16-year-old girl to die? And stay awake and do your work if the answer is no. And let me finish with the most beautiful question I've ever heard. It's from Martin Luther King, the most persistent an urgent question in life is, what do you do for other people? Thank you.